Okay. Well, we should start out with the usual.
Where is it?
Oh, hey, I was on the wrong bank.
Hey.
Okay. Welcome to the Natural 1's podcast, episode 4.
Yeah.
We made it back. We made it.
God bless.
After some crazy weeks.
Yes.
Hey.
What up? Let's go.
All right. Quivers 123 says, "Get them dogs off the screen." I can go get my slippers. Be an old man.
Old man slipper.
He subbed, so I should probably do it. So, would you want to tell your favorite D&D joke while I go get some slippers, so my audience isn't offended?
Yes. Entertain me, brother. Oh.
No, I said you tell your favorite joke.
Oh.
He's our honored viewer.
No, make him do it.
Where is it? There it is. What?
Where is it? Keep on going.
I'm not that good at this, okay? All right, let me go get something for my feet. Thank you for subscribing for 4 months in a row.
Let's go.
Get your questions ready. You get to ask a D&D question for free. All right. Vamp for like a couple seconds.
All right. 1, 2. No, I get the best one, I guess, to start off with is, how's our week been?
I'm going to get I need listen. Listen, brother. The whole point is you can't ask me a question if I'm about to leave the room to get my slippers.
Well, go get your slippers. Stop stalling.
I was about to get up from the couch when you asked me a question. All right, I'll be back.
Okay.
Ask the chat how their week's been.
Yes, I will. How has y'all's week been since my brief hiatus for class midterms? No, I don't hear words. No. It's impossible for me to hear words. I'm vibing to this music. Hearing the clumping of slippers. They did. It was okay. It was Thank goodness that wasn't my bad foot.
Not so bad.
Yes. My midterms were good. I had a midterm in psychology, and I think I did pretty good.
Did you cheat?
Of course I did. No. There was no way to cheat. I couldn't.
Distract them.
No. It was a lockdown browser. I'm not gonna. All the cheats are all. You have to spend money.
That's the best, isn't it?
No.
Okay. Now that my feet are covered, so certain viewers, probably all of them, don't vomit. Is this better? Is this better? Can we start the
Can we stop getting grilled in our
school is pay to win? That's what I'm talking about.
School is pay to win.
All right, there. I honestly was going to. I ran out of time because somebody was late. So we're gonna go to tell a little story here. I texted this boy. I'm gonna read the text because no, I'm not gonna stop. And then we'll talk. We'll get into the actual episode. I texted him.
I took a nap.
No. This was yesterday.
Oh, yesterday?
So we'll get into it, but we've both been having like the past couple weeks have been pretty busy for both of us. And so I ask you every week, like, that we're about to do this, are you available?
Yes.
Because obviously life is important. So if you're not, well, you won't do it. Okay. Yesterday at 6:19 p.m. How's tomorrow looking? With the looking emoji, like the. At 10:17 a.m., this man texts me, I live. I said, good.
That was today, too.
But that doesn't answer my question. And then you send me the most cursed D&D image. This is a red dragon, a minotaur, one of those bug creatures, like some sort of like homeless guy, and a beholder with googly eyes. And then he said yes. And then finally, I was like, any topics in mind? No response. Then 4 hours later, I was like, can we start a little earlier tonight?
Yes.
And then and I said, and he's like, I'm down to start early. I said, meet at 6:30, start at 7, and this man shows up at 6:55.
I slept through my alarm.
He slept through his alarm. All right. Anyway, aside from the midterms, how's life? How's everything?
Well, going better now that midterms are over.
Yeah. Missed doing an episode last week. My 3.5 episode was it's okay. Didn't really. No one asked me about D&D. Someone asked me about gnomes like once, and it's the same person that's been asking me about gnomes since episode 1.
Good old Doug Van Dyke.
Yep. Oh, I wonder if he's gonna show up. I don't think he knows we're doing one. I need to text him. He will definitely be here.
I'm sure he'll have more gnome trivia for us.
Well, it was funny because it's like gnomes are quirky characters. Not a lot of people want to be them because everyone wants to be like the hero. My next character is going to be a gnome artificer.
Ooh.
And so I'm glad he brought up gnome lore so I could be fascinated, so we can learn stuff from our viewers, especially ones obsessed with gnomes. So school's been crazy.
Yeah.
Work has been crazy for me. And I feel like, man, I don't know. The past couple weeks, there's always a joke where I work is like, the slogan is, oh, next week it'll be better. But I feel like it's been like a month of just like at the end of Thursday, because I'm off Fridays, I just kind of go like, man, I think this was, I wasn't off last Friday. Plus, I've been staying up late playing like No Man's Sky and trying to play Star Citizen. And so my energy was completely off. So I'm going to try to sleep better starting tonight. And then hopefully next week, because I barely read anything for the past 2 weeks of the DM guide. But yeah, things are, I mean, can't complain. I'm employed. I do have kind of my day started off on a pretty sad note, and I wanted to pay homage to this guy. A friend of mine from when I was going to college was hit by a car and killed last night. Yeah, coming out of a donut shop in town, right around where we get coffee all the time, and he was hit and he's dead. And that sucks. He was an amazing guy, and he will be definitely missed. So this episode is dedicated to Joseph. Yes, he was one of my lab partners, and we didn't see each other a whole lot after school, but we keep in contact and catch up with each other. And it's gonna be sad I can't do that anymore. So hopefully there'll be a funeral I can attend for it at least. And whoever gets. I don't know any details, whether it's intentional or not. But I hope, the family can find peace and the person has done justice and all that. But yeah. Gone but not forgotten. He's a good guy. A really good guy. So to not to linger on that. What D&D stuff have you been ingesting over the past, I guess, 3 weeks now?
Yes, so I've been re-listening to and watching the Running the Game by Matt Colville.
So is that a campaign, or is that a DM tips type of thing?
Yeah, so it's it's an all around DM and like players like guide video series that Matt Colville does, and it's just full of tips and different ways of playing the game.
Yeah, I mean Matt Colville is, there's not too many people you'd want to be not too many more people you want to be your teacher in D&D. Matt Colville is a legend. So
yeah,
what have you found that's helped you as a DM through that?
Probably the last one I was listening to was When to Roll.
Roll.
So what, like, when in a game do you choose to make your characters or you yourself roll the dice rather than it just being a choice that they make? So making a big decision.
That's something that's hard as a DM for sure. So what was his advice on it? Because that's something I'd be interested in. It's really hard to make that distinction sometimes.
I really don't remember, but it was because it was like midway through the video that I was, because it was the one I was watching today. So I got about halfway through it, so I didn't get to what he really does with it. But
it was just discussing the situation. Well, here's an interesting thing. When do you account for a player's passive abilities versus their natural roles for that, their active roles? So perception is a common thing. So each character has a passive perception and then a perception modifier if they roll a check. So I've seen DMs kind of use it and not use it. For sure, if the character has an unusually high passive perception, then I feel like if it's something, we reference Critical Role a lot. One of the characters in campaign 2 has a passive perception of 19. It's ridiculous, so not much gets by him. And so you'll often hear Matt go, "Oh, Caduceus, you and this person see this because your passive perception's high enough that." So is it if it's higher than the DC of what it would be, or is it?
Excuse me.
What I've never understood is how they figure out when to go off a passive and when not to. Because you'd say it's it's for non story essential things, but that's not necessarily true.
Yeah. How I kind of look at it when it comes to passive perceptions is how but the situation that your characters are in, whether you assume that they're in a state of high alert, you would have them probably say roll a perception check.
But if they're just chilling,
but if they're say they're just walking through town, they're looking for items or looking for shops or looking for not to pick up on what you are doing behind the screen. Of course they'll roll perception checks for trying to find places and stuff like that, and if they roll high enough, then they might perceive someone's following them or what's going on around the corner or something like that. But I think it using passive is excuse me, I'm so sorry.
Oh my goodness,
my allergies are kicking up.
Yeah, it is. Pollen's been crazy.
Yes, it has. But I think it's situational, whether people are actively trying to be on high alert. So if they're out in the woods maybe using their passive perception when they're traveling, but when they're not, have them use an active perception check. Okay. Or do something to pique them to use their perception.
Something I thought about would be, sorry, I'm trying to post this on Instagram while talk. Would be what am I trying to say? If the character asks, like, what's in this room? Then I would say, hey, roll a perception check.
Yeah.
But if it's something they haven't requested, but I could use it as a tool if they haven't noticed something that I want them to. That's when personally I would probably use it. I haven't used it a whole lot, and I definitely have not used, was it passive investigation?
Yeah.
And passive insight.
Something I've never used and never thought about, really.
I don't think anyone has. I mean, it's cool, it's there, but I don't know when I would, because most people, if they want to know if someone's lying, which is what insight is used for, 90, or just to is there any, just to discover intention, it's a classic insight check.
Yeah.
there's nothing more about it. So
I think it's in place like if a character is lying and you set the DC low enough, your characters will notice something. Say like a social situation, like you guys are at a party, your passive investigation along with your passive perception would take priority unless they specifically say.
Yeah, that makes sense. So the big thing is the DM is not being lazy about setting your
DCs for something like that, or just even thinking about it. Because I'll be honest, I do not think about passive investigation all that much.
No, I don't either. That's a good reminder to think about it.
Yeah.
I don't think in Critical Role I've ever heard Matt Mercer say, based off your passive insight, you would,
I think he uses it once in a while, but it's never something that gets used often, just because
he uses passive perception a lot.
There were a few times where passive investigation came into play, but I think they mainly use the just passive perception.
Yeah, that's something I would love to explore as a DM if I get to DM, anytime soon.
Yeah,
eventually. But what's going on? I'm just trying to promote it on Instagram. That's all I'm doing. I promise no, I don't want to animate the text. Well, hopefully we have a game coming up very soon.
Yeah, I hope.
A coworker of mine and friend of ours wanted to get a game going with a few different people from work, and we were some of them.
We need to reinvestigate that, since
I've been talking to him. He was like, hey, let me know what character you want, and I told him, because this guy has been known to have a squirrely
give him a chance. He ran one game and was still getting into his own for DMing.
All right.
I'll advocate for him a little bit. I'll roast him later.
Hasn't he DM'd before though? Okay, so here's the thing.
I have no idea. I don't know his prior experience, but the one experience that I did have, or the two experiences that I did have, were the character creation and then the one session after.
Okay, and how was that?
The session after was great. The first session, getting over how to create characters, how to roll stats for him, was like trying to do calculus. and I'm horrible at calculus.
That was my thing, bro. It was
not to throw him under the bus, but it was
of course we will not name the person. They know who they are. My thing was, so here's how the rolling thing went. So the typical way to roll a character's stats are 4d6s, reroll 1s, and then you remove the lowest number.
Yeah.
So if you rolled 6, 4, 4, and 2, then you take the 6, 4, 4, and that would be 14.
Yeah.
You do that 6 times, you assign it. And some DMs, I like to do this, will give, if the player rolled.
yes.
Quiver says it was so bad. By the way, since you subbed before we got to the free questions, you get to ask a question early about D&D. So feel free. Yeah. So that's how you do it. And if like one of my characters, my players rolled like particularly bad, I'll probably let them roll again. Or if I really feel like the party is not balanced, I will say, hey, you add a point here and you take a point here, and let's, but I'll try to, everyone, it's not fun if you don't have your one superhero stat.
Yeah.
So, because the way stats work is 10 is average, anything above is better than average, anything below is below. So it's like everyone wants that 117.
Yeah.
And it's like, who cares? Unless you're going for a hyper realistic.
Like,
at that point, I would say everyone starts at 10 everything, and you have to do. That would be a cool idea. Start at 10, and then you complete missions and stuff like to increase your stats. You don't like it?
I like it in some aspects, but I think that would be...
You'd have to tune it.
You'd have to tune it a little bit.
Only one stat is allowed to go all the way to 18.
I like that idea right there. So you
get one stat that can go to 18, another stat that can go to 16, another stat can go to 14. And then,
I mean, that's kind of basic, but that's
what standard array is.
That's what standard array is.
But
really.
Okay. You get one stat that starts at a 14, one at a 12. So if you're building a class, you have your major and minor stat. But as you go, and you've offered this in your games before, where if you spend this downtime reading up on history, you can add to your intelligence score.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes
sense. So it's not like doled out like mission rewards.
Okay,
but
I was like, the way you stated it first was, I thought it was like mission rewards.
No,
like,
if you take downtime to go to a public speaking class or something like that, or just go talk to people for a certain amount of time at a bar, your charisma goes up after a certain amount of time. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah.
That's cool, man. We even got to our first topic. That was a good conversation. Isn't that great? So cool, man. The first topic I had in mind, I'm gonna call it that guy.
All right, who is
that guy? There's a lot of that guys in a lot of situations in D&D. What I'm talking about is the players that have the attitudes of players that have the tendency to spoil the fun of either the DM or other players at the table.
Okay.
So I have a couple personal stories, and then just thinking about things that would be difficult. So I'll open the floor to you because I already know what I want to say.
Okay, I do have a small story about a similar player that I played with a while ago.
What's that?
His name was
don't share names. What if they end up watching?
Doug. We'll call him Doug. So Doug, we went to go play at his place, and I was with B2, and we were playing at his place, and he was the DM. So it wasn't necessarily a player that was that guy. it was the DM.
The DM was that
guy.
It is possible.
Yes.
It is possible.
So it was a very difficult way to work around his very centralized idea of his campaign and the NPC player that he introduced to the party that he played along with the party.
Okay.
So it was a very interesting time trying to work with him, the DM, who was already playing the railroad, along with his NPC that was forced to the party.
That's that's that guy right there.
So making player decisions, trying to do what we thought was the right thing to do in the situation. I think we were just like doing like adventure guild quests, and one of them was, I don't remember what they were, but just like in travel and in decisions in the dungeons were all circumvented by him, so either as the DM or as the
it was
PC.
The DM show basically. So they wanted a solo campaign.
Almost. It was an interesting time.
Yeah, that sounds like that guy right there. So I've got a story where I don't know if it'd be that guy. I think it was more just being a inexperienced DM and not learning how to be flexible with my players. You know what? We'll share that another time. I have a great story.
All right.
Of that guy. It was one of the first sessions I ever ran. Granted, I didn't help this because I was definitely kind of railroading, and I have railroaded. That's kind of what I was getting at in some session zeros where I've, not been flexible enough with players, and there wasn't a good enough relationship between the two of us at the time. But this is in a group that I don't think you've played D&D with any of them.
Okay.
This is when I was really early, and I think it might have been early COVID, but these guys didn't live in the city anyway. But that's beside the point. So we were in this town as started players at the tavern, like as you do, and I had very loose story, so it didn't help. But the players, the first session, had made a bargain with a guy who was like the mayor of the town, who gives them this ring and basically says, show this anywhere and you can do whatever you want. You work for me. And so the next day, a bunch of soldiers are seen in the town, and so they go to show the ring, and the soldiers are like, what the heck was this? Turns out the mayor was like a crime lord, had been arrested, or like a cult member. So that was crazy. It was a long time ago. If Doug Van Dyke shows up, he was in that session.
Oh, really?
He got so drunk, I made in the game because they had a drinking contest, but he was like a little gnome guy. He bought 2 gallons of ale.
Oh.
Like 2 kegs, took it up to his room, drank both of them, and then tried to go walk in the street and gets arrested and thrown in jail for execution. Well, okay, thrown in jail for who knows. The idea is that the party would eventually come get him. So the guy that was that guy is the guy that uses Dungeons and Dragons or RPGs to D&D bone every D&D. It was I'm gonna go find the barman's daughter and blah blah blah. And I have a personal disdain for stuff like that. It's one of those like super bro code type of dudes, and like he wanted to roll for how well he satisfied her and blah blah blah. And I was just like, to be like, I want to go find the whorehouse. I'm like, there isn't one. I just as DM was like, there isn't one. You haven't seen one in this city. Like, all right, I'm gonna go find the barman's daughter. I was like, he doesn't have one. Then at one point they get dragged in front of like the lawmaster of the town, and who was, I think she was half elven. He tries flirting with her, and she ends up giving him a harsher punishment. That was my thing. So as a DM, I guess I should have been more patient, but I knew he thought that because he was an elf and an adventurer, they were level 1, by the way. He thought that the sun didn't shine until the adventurers woke up, and I was like, that is not the case. You are about as average as can be at level 1. No one knows who you are. No one cares who you are. That's why level 1 is level 1. You are making your way into the world and making your reputation as an adventurer. Mm-hmm. I forgot how it ended, but yeah, I was just like, come on, bro. So that's my first that guy story.
Ooh. That classic bard syndrome.
Yeah, was he? No, he was like a ranger. He's literally Legolas.
That's why it's called bard syndrome.
And that's why, because when I'd be like, no, he's like, but I'm an elf. I'm like, yeah, so is that guy and that guy, and that person's a half elf. So like, it's not Lord of the Rings, where like elves are like these mystical,
like high and mighty creatures.
No, they are mystical, but they're not. Like, they're still way more. This is a side rant. Even in Lord of the Rings, the elves were not meant to be that special. In the books, they were just different.
Yeah, they were, as the books would put them, queer.
They were like strange, mystical,
strange.
But they weren't like the elves. As well done as the Lord of the Rings movies were, the elves were not accurate to the books. Like, for one thing, they don't have pointy ears.
Yeah, there's nothing in the books that say that they had pointy ears.
They basically look like humans that age slowly, and they usually have a little more wisdom.
Yeah, I actually have been reading, or actually not rereading, but reading the Lord of the Rings recently. So,
which book are you on?
I am starting on the Fellowship of the Ring.
That's a good start.
So, I had originally, this is also a side rant, I had originally started reading it because my mother had bought me the whole book series, but I ruined the Fellowship of the Ring midway through my read by dropping Powerade on it and absolutely drenching my book. So I had to go out and I had to buy a new Fellowship of the Ring. Sorry, Mom.
Is she watching the podcast tonight?
No.
Okay.
Well, but she does know that I had to buy a new book.
Wow. I need to reread Lord of the Rings. I haven't read it in so long. Good book. Have you read The Silmarillion?
No, but that's on my list.
That's a book.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish the Lord of the Rings. I'm gonna finish the trilogy because I've read The Hobbit. I don't know how many countless times. But it's finish the Lord of the Rings and then go read the Silmarillion. And there's one more book, that's in that kind of series about the rest of the history of
the Book of Lost Tales.
Yeah, the Book of Lost Tales. Yeah.
There's also there's a couple of them, but yeah, the 2 volumes of the Lost Tales are supposed to expand a lot.
Yeah. So I plan on going and actually reading those.
Do you have any other that guy stories? I have a couple categories. We can just name them.
I don't have any more. None that come off the top of my head.
Here's ones that we may or may not have experienced.
Okay.
But I know it was a thing. The White Knight.
The
main protagonist. So White Knight is the sarcastic term used for the player that feels not only are they the main character in their story, but like the de facto leader of the party. It could also be like the typical "I must save the damsel" type of thing.
I have to save the maiden.
Do you smell that? Why is there always a smell every time we podcast in here?
I can't smell it. This is
okay.
I cannot confirm nor deny the smell.
It smells like the trash needs to be taken out.
Oh well.
By the way, I'm hoping to do one of these episodes outside around the fire pit in the future.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. I was going to do it today, but I didn't get to it. It would have been great. It would have been good weather.
Yeah, it is really nice outside right now.
Yeah, White Knight.
Yeah, White Knight.
Big deal. The "I must save the damsel" might be slightly misogynistic. Who knows?
Secretly
might be a typical Redditor. Who knows? But there's nothing wrong. Like, obviously, you are a character. You are impactful to the story.
Mm-hmm.
But you, to have a good time, really need to work with your fellow players and learn when to sit down and let them talk.
Seat.
Yeah. By the way, where's my axe?
It fell behind the couch.
Okay, I'll get it in a second.
So,
by the way, we found randomly last Sunday after going to coffee these foam daggers and axes. So if we have a disagreement, or if someone donates 500 bits, we will have a foam sword fight to the death. Right now, we will. I will take my headphones off and shiv this man
will
with a foam sword.
Oh,
but it will happen. 500 bits. Hold on.
Wait. Not this angle. Okay, that's all. He's pulling his gun out. Nothing.
I'm rolling for attack.
Oh.
Daichi.
Oh.
What's that? A dagger?
Yeah. D4.
4.
Yeah, daggers are D4.
4.
That's a lot of damage. He just hit my ankle when it fell.
All right. Have fun at the gym.
Goodbye, Trey.
That was my roommate being nice and respectful and not being loud, so I appreciate that.
We appreciate the roommate.
We appreciate everyone. Appreciate the roommate. If you're in chat, feel free to say hi. Get questions ready. We'll have a free question time later. Says 3 people watching. There's a lot of people in the chat, like, who are just watching. So we appreciate you around here.
Mm-hmm.
I know I have one friend that'll probably join. He's in a League of Legends tournament right now, so he'll probably stop by later.
Dang, okay.
Yeah. They're undefeated.
Ooh, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, the story behind that's crazy, but we can get into that off stream because it's not D&D related. No, that guy, the anime edgelord protagonist. The Reaper from Overwatch.
I know a few.
That's a very typical trope to get locked into, and it's a very new character thing.
Yeah, it is, but it's also that, like, it's always the easiest one to fall into for most people.
It's easy.
And that's to be fair, that's
you're probably
easy and
like
comfortable for most players.
A true neutral or like a neutral evil, and it's like
dark brooding,
dark and you're literally like Aragorn before you find out he's actually the king of Gondor.
Yeah.
So, what else we got? If you don't know the backstory behind this, you probably won't get this. And I know we've already discussed this. I know your thoughts on it, but the Tiberius.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll go into this. It's been discussed, and if you want a little more detail, you can do your own research. In the first campaign of Critical Role, there used to be another character in the cast. His character was named Tiberius Stormwind.
Yep.
He's a dragonborn sorcerer. A really cool character design.
Yeah.
That wasn't the issue. So I'm gonna be as kind as possible to it, because I wish the guy, the Orion Ikaba well, because I know there was some background stuff that people didn't know about. In Critical Role, they don't talk about it, but essentially he had the kind of main protagonist syndrome, where he would go off on his own quests and just expect that the party would be okay with it, and it would add like length to these sessions. But also, with some of the other cast members would want to do something, especially some of the female cast members, they were like treated with like less respectfully than others. So he was left the show never to return, even to the point that when they did their animated series, they kind of axed him, because he was in that arc of the first season, right? Yeah, he was in the Briarwood arc.
I don't remember. No, he was not.
He wasn't.
No. Yeah, that was Briarwood arc would be after he left.
Okay, either way.
So much later.
But yeah, it's the whole thing, and I'm sure there were conversations outside the game to try to demit it. I don't think it was like they just let it happen and didn't. I'm sure there were conversations, because that's a group of friends. And so who knows, maybe he'll return as a guest in the future, but right now, wish him well.
Yes.
I'm sure they do too. What's another? As far as DMs, the train conductor DMs who hard railroad their players, oftentimes it's new DMs, because they haven't learned how to kind of let go of the story, especially if it's a homebrewed one that you spend a lot of time on. I know this because that's where I said I was that guy, because I don't know if I've ever specifically hard railroaded characters, but
you've definitely
not
pushed for certain outcomes for things.
Especially when I was a newer DM, it was definitely hard to let go of. Oh, they're not going to do that. I didn't have anything else planned. That type of thing.
Yeah, but it's all good and well.
Another thing, new DM big facts. Every new DM struggles with that. As Quiver says, facts. That's true. Every new DM does that to some point. If you're running a module, it's almost unavoidable.
Just a little bit, yeah. When you're running a module, there are certain plot points you have to hit.
I feel like there's an understanding behind that's not behind other stuff.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely known. If you go and play a module, there is a story that is told in a specific way, and this is your story that you kind of have to.
Yeah. You know what else is really hard as a new DM, and this is our next topic of the night: encounter balancing.
Yeah. Ooh, okay.
This is something I'm still working on. And a fun fact, I finished, side note, I forgot to say this, I finished chapter 2 of the Dungeon Mastery Guide, and I'm on to chapter 3.
Hey.
Which will deal with encounter balancing.
Good.
I know a little bit, but so the ideal, according to Wizards of the Coast, the ideal is for a party of 4 players. They have recommendations, and so the CR rating they see, so like in the what I'm going to use for my monster of the week, it says a CR rating of 5, which means a party of 3 to 4 people of 5th level should be able to kill them with enough challenge, but not too much.
Yeah.
The hard part is
this
getting that right.
It's exactly accurate.
Well, also, how many times is your party exactly 4 people?
Yes.
We've played with 2 of us. You've DM'd for me, and for Quiver, there's just 2 of us. So how would you have them face something built for 4?
Well, easiest thing to do is alter the stat block.
Yeah.
So alter its AC. So the main things I did for when I DM'd for YouTube was I altered its HP and I altered its AC. Everything else was basically the same. Maybe altering the damage, how much exact damage it does. But other than that, it's just dropping it down to where I feel that it's manageable for 2 players, but still a challenge.
Yeah.
Also, changing the number of creatures in your encounter is always good.
Yeah. I remember one time I got so power hungry for a group. I was DMing at a card shop for some of my friends, and I put them in an arena with 30 owlbears, and they're like, but they're like 10th level, bro. They're like 30. I'm like, fine. So I was like, the rest of them are in pens. Yeah, they'll be released once you kill the other ones, I guess. Yeah, it was not a good session.
Ooh.
What I've learned to do, because I'll often look through, I'm really bad about like looking at just the pictures and going, ooh,
yeah,
nice. And then once we get to the encounter, I'll look down. So for instance, my creature of the week, we'll use this as a reference.
All right. What is your creature of the week this week?
The half dragon.
The half dragon.
Okay. The half dragon is different than a dragonborn. So first off, let me get my glasses in grandpa position.
Gotcha.
We'll read the description. When a dragon in polymorph form mates with another creature, the union sometimes produces half-dragon offspring. The creature might also transform into a half-dragon as a result of a mad wizard spell or a ritual bath in dragon's blood. My favorite. In all these cases, the result is a creature that combines the essence of a dragon with the form of its original race. Regardless of origin, all half-dragons have similar appearances and special abilities. So
what is the difference between a dragonborn and a half-dragon?
The half-dragon is like a mutation. Where's the player's guide? Because that's where dragonborn would be.
I will look up
dragonborn.
I will look up dragon.
Dragonborns have nothing to do with dragons, actually. It's a fun fact, dragonborns actually despise dragons. Like, that's a good story thread if someone's trying to be accurate to like their racial history. If you want a dragonborn character to get into a fight, bring a dragon into it, because they will probably like be upset. I believe the history is dragonborns were like enslaved by the dragons.
Born of dragons, as they are proclaimed, the dragonborn walk proudly through a street and greet the fearful. Oh, this is just like the players. Where is the description of it?
Looking through that, what I was getting at is, so the half dragon is an AC of 18. 65 hit points, and then it doesn't have any it's resistant to fire, which makes sense, and then it has some athletic and perception bonuses. So what I look at is what their attack roll is. So like it has a longsword attack, which is for one thing, it can multi-attack. So if I want this, but the players are like level 3, I probably want to allow it to multi-attack. I'll just let it use one action. But it has a longsword, 1d8 plus 3. I would slash that to 1d8 flat. So a common thing I'll do is I'll just remove the plus modifiers and just have them. So like short sword, I'd have it roll a d6 and not add.
Let's see. Yeah.
And if that's not even enough, I feel weird admitting this on stream. If I roll and it's like, especially if it's a new player and I don't want them to die, I will fudge that roll and be like, if I roll a, I know their AC is 16 or something, and I roll a 18, if it's not looking so good, I'll just be like, oh, they missed. Stop judging me. I can feel it.
Let them die.
Let them die.
I am of the opinion. Don't get me wrong. I have fudged dice rolls before.
Yes.
But in the context of DMing, majority of the time, dice don't lie.
Yes, I totally agree with that. I'm talking about and I have no problem killing off players if they were more veteran players of the game. I'm talking about like a first time player. I would probably let them live.
I'll give them a chance to escape, but if they make the choice to stay in an encounter that they are physically losing, it is their choice to stay and die.
It's absolutely their choice, because what a lot of players, I think, especially new players, don't understand is not every encounter is meant to be won.
And that's where encounter balancing comes into play.
Yeah.
So not every encounter that you place as a DM needs to be an encounter meant for the players to win. Some they're meant to run away from or try to circumvent.
So let's say I'm going to pitch you a hypothetical.
All right, while you think of that real fast. The difference between Dragonborn and, you said half dragons, correct?
Half dragon.
Dragonborns look very much like dragons standing erect in humanoid form, though they lack wings or tails. The first Dragonborn had scales of vibrant hues matching the colors of their dragon kin, but generations of maternal breeding have created more uniform appearances. So,
I believe, though, when I was looking them up for some other research, I know they're divided into different clans.
Yes.
Which I assume is based off of some of their color. But I thought they were on the world of, the draconic world where dragons came from, that dragonborns were subjugated by the dragons, and so there was a fierce loathing of dragons. I might be losing my mind. I wouldn't be surprised. But half dragons are really cool. I wish half dragon was a playable race, because I think that'd be a really cool dynamic of overcoming people not even wanting to deal with you, because it'd be like a more extreme tiefling.
Yeah, almost. That'd actually be an interesting thing to fiddle around with.
I'm gonna look that up really quick. While I'm looking that up, if you're in the chat, say hi and get some questions ready. But say hi. We want to say hi to you. We want to greet you. Be good hosts.
Want to try?
The topic you wanted to.
I wanted to share my creature of the week.
What is your creature of the week?
So my creature of the week is called, I'm gonna probably butcher this name, the Chlororith. So it's a spider-like creature with hands, 6 eyes, and 2 large fangs coming out of its face.
That sounds absolutely terrifying.
So, although I'll read its first paragraph here. Free the chitters from slavery. Although the Chloriths are, I'm probably butchering it. Sorry, I'm very bad at reading. So,
keep going.
Here, I want to make sure I'm saying this right.
Okay.
Can you look at this?
Do you want me to read it?
Not necessarily read it. Just read that word.
Okay.
I'm bad at reading. Well, just
okay.
What's that word?
CHITI.
Chitinese. chitons.
Yeah. Coldriths. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the hell? That's creepy looking. There you go. I'm gonna say it's in chat. In chat. If anyone's not lurking, pull up so I can see the chat. If you're in chat, a gifted sub to the first person who can do a phonetic pronunciation for us for this. I will gift the sub. The word is spelled CHITINES. How would you say that?
I have no idea.
I'm asking them. This is a contest. I will gift a sub right now to the first person who gives me a good way to say that. I say, because I'm thinking of like chitin.
Yeah.
Chitinous. So I think chitinese. Excuse me. I don't know. No, I call this the Coldrith or cold.
Yeah, I think it's cold.
Coldrith.
Coldrith.
Chaotic evil. Oh, yes. This is scary. Yeah. Gifted sub to whoever can figure that out. Continue.
So, chitons lack sexual characteristics and Coldrith. Oh my goodness.
You want me to read it?
Let me do it. Let me suffer. Coldriths need no mate to lay eggs. These creatures choose the gender identity of their goddess. Coldriths also believe and teach the Loth spider form. Much like that of a Coldrith is her truest shape, an idol, any idol to Loeth in a chitin colony, despite Loth in this way. That was a horrible reading. I'm very sorry.
I'm afraid I don't follow.
I barely follow.
Okay, can I look at it really quick?
Yes. Would you like to give a better reading?
I'll try to do a reading. I'm not that good at reading either.
You're a better reader than I am.
Where does this start?
Because
okay, so the creatures are chitinese.
Chitines, that's how you say it?
Yeah, well, no one's like actually talking in chat right now, so it doesn't matter.
Bro.
Alright. Chitines are multi-armed humanoids with arachnid qualities that serve Loth. They operate in well-organized colonies that prove to be effective fighters in the war against enemies of the Demon Queen of Spiders. On occasion, Loth pits chitines against dark elves, even though both groups worship her, as a way of punishing the drow who created the chitines but displeased their goddess by doing so. That's crazy.
And that's the creature before it.
Yeah, but I think the spider has something to do with it. So Coldrith is part of the chitine.
Okay, so it's...
Because the next stat block, the next article's cranium rats.
Okay.
So... well, we'll keep going. Unnatural origin. Long ago, the drow first subjected elf prisoners to horrible rituals that transformed the captives into creatures with both humanoid and spider traits, which the creator dubbed chitines. The dark elves' intention was to create slaves dedicated first of all to the drow and by association with them to Loth. As the drow ultimately discovered, the goddess found this arrangement unacceptable. The creation process required cooperation between magical disciplines. Drow wizards and warlocks used arcane magic and demonic powers, and drow priestesses invoked Loth's aid for the divine spark needed to ensure the subject's survival. Loth watched, expecting at some part of the process to see these new abominations dedicated to her, but no such ritual was performed. In retribution for this lack of respect, the Spider Queen twisted the Drow's creation rituals to serve her own purposes.
Okay, thus creating probably the...
So, Lolth's revenge. As the Drow continued to perform the rituals, the process usually transformed the subject into the spindly, stunted creature they expected. Occasionally though, the elf changed into a monstrosity that was more spider than elf, resembling Lolth in her spider form, and more cunning than a Ch'teen, that the Drow dubbed a Coldrith.
Okay, so there you go.
So occasionally the transformation went wrong, and they got super spider, but they're actually making their own enemies.
God, see it.
At first, the Drow were unaware that the new creatures were signs of Lolth's displeasure with them. Instead, they were pleased because Coldriths could lay eggs that birth more Ch'teens, in parentheses, and the rare Coldrith could direct the Ch'teens in their work. But the Dark Elves came to realize their mistake. Coldriths belonged to Lolth body and soul. They whispered to the Ch'teens of their adoration of the Spider Queen and their enmity of the Drow, and the seeds of a rebellion took root and grew. The Ch'teens and Coldriths rose up against their would-be masters. Soon afterward, most of the creatures were free, and a number of the Drow who helped breed and tend them were dead. Nowadays, Drow still create Ch'teens when they have need to. Outside the presence of a Coldrith, Ch'teens make good workers for the Drow, and they can be useful if the Drow find an independent Ch'teen colony and want to infiltrate it.
Well, there you go.
If the creation process yields a Coldrith, though, the Drow destroy the creature immediately. So they got wise. There's still more. Lolth's chosen. Coldriths are born with a fanatical devotion to Lolth, which leads them to develop some skill in divine magic. They preach that Ch'teens are Lolth's favored people, and that Coldriths are the Spider Queen's rightful worldly representatives, sent to free the Ch'teens from slavery. Although Coldriths and Ch'teens lack sexual characteristics, and Coldriths need no mate to lay eggs, these creatures choose the gender identity of their goddess. Coldriths also believe and teach that Lolth's spider form, much like that of Coldrith, is her truest shape. Any idol to Lolth in a Ch'teen colony depicts Lolth in this way.
Okay, there you go.
You want me to keep going?
No, you're good. That's
okay.
That was more than I thought you were gonna read.
I was gonna read through the whole thing.
No, that's good.
Okay, that's your creature of the week.
Thank you for reading, teacher.
So what were we talking about? Quick.
Well, we can move on.
I was asking you what some of your topics were.
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to talk about the one I really want to get into is how to play with magic.
Yes.
So, how would you go out of the way to use certain spells in different ways? So not using the spells necessarily for its intended purpose, because I know some spells are very like situational and can only be really used in one way.
Yes.
But some, I think, can be used in much more creative ways if players use them creatively.
We're not talking about broader spells like Wish, right? Because Wish is whatever you want. Okay, yeah, so give me a spell as an example.
So, let's see if I can find one that I think will be a good example of this.
While you find it, I'm going to go find my axe. So,
okay. I'm going to see if I can find the one I wanted to do, which is... Brendan says he shocked himself. Big attack. being attacked for no reason.
This might have been one of the best purchases we ever made.
Yes, for $4.
$4 a pop.
At your local store, you can find these babies.
Okay, at HEB.
At HEB, at your local HEB, you may be able to find these for $4 a pop.
They're pool toys.
They're absolutely worth it.
We could have, man. Never mind.
We could have bought that whole box.
We could have bought that whole box.
All right, but how would you use, say, force? I'll do a high level spell.
Okay.
How would you use Force Cage in a different way than its intended purpose? I'll read the intended purpose. Just in case. So, Force Cage, in an immovable, invisible, cube-shaped prison composed of magical force springs into existence around an area around you, chosen within range. The prison can be a cage or a solid box as you choose. A prison in the shape of a cage can be up to 20 feet on a side and is made from half-inch diameter bars spaced 2 inches apart.
Okay, so it's meant, from what I'm hearing, it's meant to trap an enemy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how would you use this? Not necessarily for its intended purpose.
Okay, let me think about that a second. What I would say is, I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. You could use it as a lure, potentially, that you trap one of your party members to lure creatures in.
Okay.
And then they can you cast spells through the cage?
Let's see. A creature inside the cage cannot leave it by non-magical means. Okay. If a creature tries to use teleportation or interdimensional travel to leave the cage, it must make a charisma saving throw. So it is seemed to be up to interpretation. So you can use spells through it because it is a barred cage.
Yes. Okay. So, okay, here's my next question.
All right.
Can creatures on the outside reach into the cage?
That would be, let's see.
I have an idea. I'm cooking something up, man.
So it doesn't necessarily say, but for this instance, we'll say yes, because it is a barred cage, because it is in the shape of a cage of some kind, and it gives the dimensions. So 2-inch diameter bars spaced half-inch apart.
Got more questions.
All right.
I'm cooking something up. This is like the type of stuff that players have in a text thread in between sessions.
Mm-hmm. And this is what I want to give.
Can the cage be moved with the person in it?
Yes. So when you cast a spell, any creature that is inside the cage's area is trapped. The creature only partially within the area, or those too large to fit inside the area, are pushed away from the center. I would say you could probably move it, but it doesn't specifically say you can move it with the spell. But
I know I'm making a huge meal about it.
No, this is exactly what I'm talking about when you play with magic.
Because I feel like there's a lot that you could do.
So for this instance, we'll say yes. You can move the cage, because the spell itself is it?
All right.
Oh, it's just an action. So yeah,
I would put one of my allies in the cage.
All right.
Then if creatures would come in, you could get close. Oh, if they can reach in, you put a party member in that has like a spell like Shocking Grasp, or like was it Toll the Dead, where you have to touch?
Yeah.
And use them as like this little like weird weapon. Or you could use someone that could levitate the cage with the person in it, and they could be like a sniper's nest.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Or just to lure something out. Or you could use it for... How long does it last?
It's 1 minute. It's an action.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Because 1 minute, I mean, that's usually most of a fight. How many encounters have you known to go past 10 rounds? Me neither.
A few.
Okay, it's rare. What I'm saying. So you could always redo it if you have the spell slots. I assume it's like a first or second, or is this a higher level?
This is a 7th level spell.
Okay, never mind. You might not have as many. But still, that'd be worth it. You know,
could be.
I could definitely see the potential. It's obviously meant to cage an enemy for a minute while you can wallop it through the cage but not be touched. Yeah, that's how I would do it. I use it as a lure. I'm trying to think in a peaceful situation, but why would you use a 7th level spell in a peaceful situation?
Don't know.
You wouldn't. I hate to be a tactician in D&D because I hate when that happens, but why would you? Give me a reason. And outside of an encounter, what would you use that for? Because I can't think of a thing.
There are 7th level spells that are not used in combat.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about that spell.
You got no other options, maybe? You've already exhausted all your low level spells, so you got to use something big.
You could, but that spell? Oh, you could use it to stop an something that's like falling on you.
Yeah.
All right, okay, all right. You know what I'm not saying there's better options out there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not. This was just an example of using.
I'm just saying you need to surrender to the void.
And all I'm saying, you missed. All I'm saying is that this was an example of different ways to use spells creatively, and that's why what I want to try to push for a lot of my players when they're magic users is use the spells not necessarily in the way that they were intended.
Stealth attack.
My books protect me.
Okay, I got a side thought to that.
Okay, give me your side thought.
How would you use a unused cantrip like fairy fire or fairy lights or any of those that like most players pass up?
Okay, well, let me see if I can find fairy fire for you.
Yeah, how do you like them apples?
Here we go. Fairy fire. Well, fairy fire is a first level spell, not a cantrip.
My bad. Give me a cantrip, or give me the book, and I'll find a cantrip while you vamp.
Okay. Here.
Yo, we will fight over this. Give me my axe.
Where'd you?
It's
my
down
dagger?
there. Okay. We're gonna look up cantrips.
All right.
Tell me why. Where is the spell list? I found it. Stop. I didn't want to hear it.
Okay. I will.
All right. Give me a class. Because they're broken down my class.
I will. Let's go rain.
Never mind. They're not they're broken down alphabetically.
Yeah,
they're gross.
I don't think they're. Oh, they used to be. They're one of those books. Wait. They should be broken down by class.
All right, give me a class.
All right. Let's go wizard.
Wizard.
To give the most
cantrips. All right. Dancing lights.
Okay.
Let me look it up. Make sure.
Well.
And while I'm close. Well, the good news is we've taken so long, we'll have plenty of stuff to talk about next time.
Yeah.
Which is good. But get your questions ready. We'll be getting to that part because I'm getting hungry and I have to go to bed early because I am taking over from my boss at work tomorrow. Hey. Dancing lights. Cantrip, range 120 feet. Verbal, somatic, material. We can discuss
all those
components in the future. A bit of phosphorus or witchwood or a glowworm. It's 1 minute, up to 1 minute concentration. You create up to 4. You create up to 4 torch-sized lights within range, making them appear as torches, lanterns, or glowing orbs that hover in the air for the duration. You can also combine the 4 lights into one glowing, vaguely humanoid form of medium size. Whichever form you choose, each light sheds dim light in a 10-foot radius. As a bonus action, on your turn, you can move the lights up to 60 feet to a new spot within range. You hit your mic. A light must be within 20 feet of another light created by the spell. A light winks out. Yeah, if it's out of range.
Okay.
How would you use it?
So
it's not a combat spell.
Nope,
not really.
It's not. But I do believe this spell does not get used in its other way other than just being a light, which is the
humanoid.
The humanoid. So this could technically be used as an illusion spell to distract or to, intrigue non-knowing creatures.
Yes.
I think that's the
obvious one. I didn't even know that was a thing, which means I'm terrible. I can't get on anybody for not reading their spells if I don't. Why did it get quiet?
Maybe because we're both guilty of this.
We are both guilty of the same crime.
Submit to the... Oh, where's the voice?
Submit to the void.
No. Okay.
Other one.
Shut up. All right. I got a challenging one for you. And again, since we'll see if anyone talks. I will give a free sub. Ooh, I'm going to be bold. I'm going to gift 5 subs to the first person if someone can tell me a good use for True Strike.
Can you read True Strike for me?
You know True Strike.
Yeah.
It's considered one of the most useless cantrips of all time.
Yes.
Casting time, 1 action. Range, self, VS. Concentration. It's a concentration cantrip. Oh, my bad. No. Hold on. I was looking at Tree Strider. Shut up.
About to say.
True Strike.
There you go.
My apologies. 5 subs. I'll gift 5 subs. So they'd be random. If someone can get... Alright, True Strike. I might regret this if it's actually useful. It is cost an action, 30 feet. Components is somatic, which is spoken. So you speak in, you utter a you cast it. Concentration up to 1 round. So this only lasts for a turn. Okay. You point a finger at a target. You point a finger at a target in range. Your magic grants you with a brief insight to the target's defensives. On your next turn, you gain advantage over your first attack roll against the target, provided that this spell hasn't ended. And That's why True Strike is stupid. Because, you know what? What are your thoughts on True Strike? And find me another use for True Strike.
Well, considering, and I said this at the start, some spells cannot be used for other purposes.
I challenge you.
Okay, well, considering it is only a combat spell, you can only use it in a combat situation. Am I wrong?
Technically, you are, because I can just point at you and go, I cast True Strike.
So wait, read it one more time for me. What?
I'm being petty now. You point a finger at a target in range, which is 30 feet, which is pretty terrible range. Your magic grants you a brief insight to the target's defenses. On your next turn, you gain advantage on your first attack roll against the target, provided that this spell hasn't ended.
So the only time I can see this being used outside of combat is in a surprise round, if you were really desperate with your rogue to get the jump on somebody.
Provided they actually chose this.
Yes, provided someone actually took True Strike. And for the mistaken few that have, that's the only other use I can see.
Okay.
Because it only does an attack modifier.
So
it gives you advantage. That's all it does for a singular round.
Exactly 6 seconds to use it. So, if someone comes up with a better use for True Strike in the chat, here's a debate.
Okay.
What if we've been misinterpreting True Strike?
Okay. What's your thought on it?
What if it goes until the first attack roll? Because the way every DM has rolled it is at the start of your next turn, the spell ends. It's so the question is, how long is one? When does the one round translate into the next?
So in the context of this spell, and in most how it is interpreted for rounds, the round will end when it gets back to your turn.
But does it end at your first action? So if you move, does your round start?
Well, the round starts with whatever character is first in initiative. That's how you count the rounds. All right, I keep on hitting the mic. But rounds start with, because it does the initiative order.
So
and the rounds start with whoever rolled highest initiative. So by the end of, or the start of that round,
you would have to be a character like a monk that could expend a key point to do an attack after casting an action.
Yes, or have whoever is casting it be one of the first people to use it.
Hey, we're one that we finally found a use for True Strike.
Wow.
Okay.
It's still useless.
Wow. Just like this podcast. Please say something in chat. We're desperate.
Brendan's desperate. We need money. We're poor.
Don't throw that on me. All right, I'm gonna come up. This is fun. I'm gonna come up with another one. All right, pick a class.
Let's go Ranger, because I feel like there are a lot of multi-use spells.
Okay, Ranger.
Yeah.
Does not get cantrips.
No.
So let me think.
They get first up to, I think, 4th, maybe 5th.
They get up to 5th.
Yeah. Which is kind of sad. I feel like they should get up to like 6th.
I'm going to say plant growth.
Okay.
Let me look it up.
What is plant growth?
Well, see, when you plant a plant and the sun comes out and you water it and you say kind words.
Does that mean it grows?
All right. Oh, this is really cool art.
Ooh, look at the shiny.
I do like that there's full page art because it makes it easier to read through because it's shorter. All right. Plant growth, 3rd level transmutation. Casting time, 1 action or 8 hours. So I guess you can ritual for 8 hours.
You can do a ritual casting and the spell will take effect over 8 hours.
Okay. Duration instantaneous. So
it instantly happens.
Yeah. Verbal somatic. No components needed. This spell channels vitality into plants within a specific area. There are 2 possible uses for the spell. Oh, they're going to tell us this time.
Ooh.
Gaining either immediate or long-term, granting either immediate or long-term benefits. If you cast the spell using 1 action, choose a point within range. All normal plants within a 100-foot radius centered on that point become thick and overgrown. 3 C's. A creature moving through the area must spend 4 feet of movement for every 1 foot it moves.
Okay, so it becomes difficult terrain.
Yeah. That might be extra difficult.
I think so.
Yeah, because difficult would be 2 for 1. Okay. You can exclude 1 or more areas of any size within your spell's area from being affected. If you cast a spell over 8 hours, so it's an 8-hour ritual.
Okay.
You enrich the land. All plants in a half-mile radius centered on a point within range become enriched for 1 year. Oh, this is really cool. This is really cool. Oh, this is really cool. Don't knock my monster over onto. If you break this interface, the podcast is over forever because I can't afford another one.
Don't leave your monster on the couch.
I was going to drink it.
Stop destroying my
monster.
If you cast this spell over an 8-hour ritual, you enrich the land. All plants in a half-mile radius centered on a point within range become enriched for 1 year. The plants yield twice the normal amount of food when harvested.
Wow, okay.
You could stop a famine in a village by using plant growth. We gotta find another one. That's actually super useful.
Yeah. All right. Well, what is a different way? Excuse me. I'm so sorry. To use plant growth outside of just its regular intended purpose.
I don't know. Its purposes are too good and wholesome.
Okay, well, what was its single action use? What was it again?
You can make extra difficult terrain.
Extra difficult terrain
over. I turned away from the page. Shut up. Don't make fun of me.
I'm gonna make you play Warhammer Yahtzee with me.
Warhammer. Oh yeah. John, if you're still in the chat, did you hear about this man's blasphemous Warhammer Nazi? Nazi.
What did you just say?
No. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. Hey, listen, Warhammer Yahtzee, you're the person that said it first.
I don't know what they're playing, okay, man?
Okay, we'll get into that. For 1 action, all plants in a 100-foot radius.
100-foot radius.
Which is really good.
So
if you're in the jungle, that covers like an entire encounter area.
Yeah, so potentially what you could use this for, if your DM allows it, is to overgrow a structure and potentially cripple it. So say you're like doing a siege on a castle or something, or are just trying to make an entrance somewhere, you can use any of the overgrowth to potentially cripple any structures. Because it says any vegetation, so any slightly overgrown or Yeah, no, just any overgrown where there's greenery, any overgrown plants or anything inside cracks and stuff, you'd be able to destroy buildings with it.
So natural erosion.
Yes, just in the snap of fingers instead.
That's interesting.
Why are you rubbing a bald man's head?
Why not? Maybe that will get people to talk in the chat. First person to sub will get me to stop rubbing the bald man's head.
Quick.
All right, yeah, that's a good idea. I didn't think about it like that because I don't think. Okay, darkness.
There's only one use for darkness,
which is to troll your players.
Yes, troll your players and troll each other. Same as fog cloud. I actually do like fog cloud quite a bit, though.
Let's look at darkness, and then we've actually been streaming for almost 2 hours, so I want to get to some questions. Yeah. If anyone's in chat, after this discussion, we'll be going to questions for free. I see y'all in there. Y'all better start saying something, or else I'll send the bald head to you. And you just have to look at it. It's creepy. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Look at it.
Look at it.
Look at it.
All right. Let's see if we can find another use for darkness. Casting time, 1 action, range 60 feet. Components, verbal, material, bat fur, and a drop of pitch or a piece of coal. One of those is easier to get than the other. It's the bat fur.
Why duration. Wait. How is coal not the easiest thing to acquire? You just burn a piece of wood.
That was the joke. That was the joke.
That was a bad joke.
You're a bad joke.
I am.
Concentration up to 10 minutes. Magical darkness spreads from a point you choose within range to fill a 15-foot radius sphere for the duration. The darkness spreads around corners. A creature with dark vision can't see through this darkness. A non-magical light can't illuminate it. If the point you choose is on an object you are holding, or one that isn't being worn or carried, the darkness emanates from the object and moves with it, completely covering the source of the darkness with an opaque... if you're completely covering the source of the darkness with an opaque object, such as a bowl or helm, blocks the darkness. If any of this spell's area overlaps with an area of light created by a spell 2nd level or lower, the spell that created the light is dispelled.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not creative enough to know any other use other than its direct use, which is make.
So the issue is you can't see through it, but you also can't see in it. So it's not like if you put a cast dark on a creature that you're fighting, no one can see anything. Mm-hmm. Just like if somebody who was in the chat cast fog cloud on me and let me nearly die in an encounter. Thank you for subbing. That was earlier. Sub for 4 months straight. Yeah. All right. It's getting late, so we're gonna spend a few minutes. If anyone in chat will, yeah, that was hilarious. The reasonably attractive night hag. That was that session.
Reasonably attractive.
All right. Let me scoot over to my computer and turn off the question prompt there.
So for those still here and still listening, we implore you to swap from listening to asking us some questions.
All right, it's question time for, let's say, the next 10 minutes, 15.
Yeah, drop some questions. Ask
some questions. No cost. Quiver gets first dibs if he ever does want to ask a question because he subbed. Even though I've asked him like 3 or 4 times and he hasn't had a question yet.
I think because he's dumb.
Why would you say that?
Because I know that one.
Yeah, we should get him on the show.
We should.
You should join us, but you should ask a question first. But yeah, he's got a mic already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know he does.
Yeah, the most sensitive mic on the face of this earth. My bad. That's not a question. That's just Patrick Starr being menacing. Menacingly. Yeah, we'll hang out for a few minutes. If no one asks in the next 5 minutes, we'll call it. We need to get some of the people that came from episode 2 that come back. But
that's how I feel right now. No one asking questions.
I have a meme.
You're gonna get it.
I have a meme to show you. Well, you've seen it before, but it's resurfaced. Ooh, D&D Speak just posted again on Instagram.
Ooh.
A list of road encounters.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, I will share it on the next episode, but I'll show you before, because we've talked about a lot.
Okay.
All right, so pick a number between, let's roll a d6 actually. Let me know if someone asks a question. 6. The party meets a ragged middle-aged woman. She's traveling across the region to take her husband's ashes to a holy shrine.
Is she reasonably attractive?
Yes.
I choose to ignore her.
What?
I said I choose to ignore her.
She casts
for the plot.
Melf's or Meteor Swarm at 9th level.
Rocks fall and kill your whole party. Giant floating baby appears and just steals one of your party members.
Giant floating baby? When did that happen? No, sir. Not in any session I played in.
Nope.
I will fight you.
I know you
to
will.
The death. Right now.
You know what you won't fight?
What?
A fire newt.
What the heck is a fire newt?
It's a fire newt.
Let me tell you something. While this is a video podcast, we have no camera to show what the heck is a fire newt.
Well, my ears. A fire newt is a newt that is on fire. Bipedal by nature.
Is this the actual description?
No, this is just me. Fire newts. In regions that contain hot springs, volcanic activity, or similar hot and wet conditions, fire newts might be found. These humanoid amphibians live in a militaristic theocratic theocracy that reveres elemental fire in its worst incarnation. They look kind of dumb.
Show me the picture, dang it.
They have an intelligence of 7. I was right.
Just show that's for the camera. You gotta hold it closer. Closer. I have to see it. Hold on. No, you gotta get like right up on the camera, brother. You gotta unplug or stand up. There you go. There you go. Yeah. If we ever get an audience back again, you know, this will be a pretty big hit. Hey, if you're watching or lurking on the stream, share it with your friends. Join the Discord, sub, follow, give us money, give us love, and we will shut up. That's a long thank you.
But dude, feel free to sub.
We're trying to grow this. We want people to know about this podcast. We promise we'll get on a more regular schedule. It's just been crazy the past few weeks.
And of course, we have work, we have lives.
Yeah. So, but we want to keep this growing, and we want to see you back. We want to say hi. I want to go through the people in chat and call them out. Some of these I know we're not.
I literally told you not to do this.
What?
Just this. Go through our viewer list and call people out. We have this conversation.
I don't remember.
Oh, I'm gonna call you out. Don't do that.
I won't do that. Gambling 2002 is banned.
Oh, that's unfortunate. All right, I gotta.
No.
Well, if I'm banned.
Okay, no, sit down and I'll throw this axe at you. Okay, doesn't look like we have any questions tonight, so all good. The questions will always be open at the end of every episode for free, but if you sub, donate, or follow, you get to ask a question for free. What?
You get to interrupt our conversations to pose your question and have us answer it on the spot.
Yeah. Also, there's stream stickers, so you want to show us how you feel, you can do that, or you can give us each funny mustaches.
I already have a funny mustache.
Me too. Well, I barely even have a mustache.
I'm trying to get that handlebar mustache.
Oh.
I'm real close. It's not thick enough, but it's like I can slowly. I'm slowly getting it long enough.
I'm gonna get a picture of that meme guy, the average Redditor.
Please no.
That is.
Please no.
Well, actually, no.
I will throw a book at you.
Wait, are you saying no to questions, or are you saying no to your brother's handlebar mustache?
Yeah, are you saying no to the handlebar mustache or the Redditor thing? Please let it be the Redditor thing.
Please be the handlebar mustache. I was about to end, but now I want to know what he means.
I'm about to get a call and just be like,
bro, if he calls, you can call. Hey, straight up, you could call me, and I think I could put it on Bluetooth. By the way, I'm pretty sure Quiver could call in, and then I could Bluetooth my phone in to here.
Oh yeah.
I kind of want to try that really quick.
What's wrong with the handlebar mustache?
Look, not as much as I love the 1800s. I'm trying to. Oh, sorry.
There's nothing.
There's everything.
There's nothing wrong with the handlebar mustache. He even typed it horrible.
Everything. Okay. I kind of want to try that calling in. So, if you can, let me close the stream feed out. You gotta watch chat for me because I gotta close my stream feed out.
I got it.
Call in. I want to see if we can take a caller. This will be dangerous, but I might be able to hook Discord up to it.
That'd be baller.
Hey kitten, ooh woo.
Stop.
Poggers. All right.
Mistake.
All right. There's 2 people in chat. I won't name them who have my number. Do me a favor and see what happens if you phone in. Por favor. I will. For one, you know who you are. If you come, I assume we're going to Agora tomorrow. I'll need it. I will buy. Yeah. All right. We have a viewer calling in. I have no idea what's about to happen. Hold on.
As long as it doesn't, destroy my ears.
Hello? I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know how this works. I don't know how this works. Okay. Try talking.
Is there input?
I don't know. Hello? I wonder if it can only.
Oh, it might not work.
That sucked. That would have been perfect.
That's a rip.
That's a rip. We'll figure that out because that'll be funny to take a caller in. Hello? Okay. Hold on. I'm going to put you back on Bluetooth and say what you want to say to your brother.
Uh-oh.
Go. Why can I not hear it? Oh, man.
I can't hear it.
We're going to figure this out. Oh, he hung up.
There's nothing wrong with a handlebar mustache.
Oh, he hung up. Oh. Alright. Just playing stream feed in. What the heck?
I just want to try it. I just want to see how it looks.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. I'll have to do a test stream because I think it'd be hilarious to take a caller.
That'd be absolutely amazing. That'd be so funny.
I'm looking. I mean, we're basically just chilling. The stream's over for.
Yeah, our episode is coming to a close.
Yeah,
so we're just chilling.
Get out of here. I'm looking at my routing. I gotta remember how to get to it. I'm so smooth brained right now.
We'll get some wrinkles, bro.
Honestly, I could probably just open up Discord. Bummer, bro.
Bummer,
bro.
Bummer me horrors, dude.
What?
Never. Don't worry about it.
What did you just say?
Bummer me horrors.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
It's a surfer's phrase.
Oh, do I look like a surfer to you? I actually kind of could be right now. I'm definitely like someone said I had the beach bum vibe going.
Yeah.
Well, we tried to call in. So first vote is no on the handlebar mustache. I'm gonna have to side with that. But
I just want to.
how much longer do you think? I mean, we'll see. Because I don't think it doesn't matter what we say. I know you're just gonna do it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean we won't.
Like it'll if it does happen, it probably won't stay.
If you show up to get coffee with that handlebar mustache, and then like your vest and your button down, you will literally look like some dude out of the early 1900s.
And that's what I was going for. That's the whole point of it. Just for the gimmick of that, to have that look fully complete is all I want. Just for, if it's even for one night, I will shave it off the next day. But just for one night, I want to get
just for one night.
Just okay. So I can say I did it, and then I don't have to do it anymore.
You're gonna know.
Yes.
You're gonna know.
You don't live at home anymore. You can't tell me what to do.
But he can light the beacons and get the family to roast you.
I don't know, Mom. I think my sister would probably agree with us. Agree with me. I think she'd be okay with it, actually.
Well, if she ever watches the stream, I think
the brothers will definitely throw hands. Like if
they ever all watch the stream, we'll run a poll and see what they say. I feel like it's been hit or miss.
Is the handlebar mustache a good idea?
But at least so are you gonna keep this stuff right here?
It depends on if this grows in or not. Probably what will happen is this will go away. I'll shave this. It'll just be the goatee and then the mustache.
Okay.
I feel majorly judged, but it's okay. It's hard being a baller out here.
You feel judged? You know why? I'm judging you.
Stop judging me.
I'm judging you.
Stop judging me.
I'm judging you into the BS. Release your inhibitions. Deny yourself the handlebar mustache.
No.
Oh, okay. You're just gonna be like that? Okay,
Yeah.
I see how it is.
Yeah. Go away, Yzma.
I'm surprised there's still people watching. Okay, I think that's enough. Plus, I'm getting hungry. Where do you want to eat?
Ooh.
We didn't get the hiccups this time because we're eating afterwards.
Yeah, we did not
And,
die of grease hiccups.
Charlie the puppy will probably make an appearance on a future stream. He's visiting his grandparents, but he's getting
not the farm.
The farm. Send him to a farm upstate. He's getting a little more well behaved. Actually, we were thinking he might have been a little bit sick the other day because it was a funny story. But I hope he's okay. I think he was a little bit sick from it. He has a toy, like one of those like long-armed chew toy cows.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did he eat some of it?
He loved that cow.
He loved that cow?
He loved that cow. Zach, he loved that cow. So we took it away. When we gave it back, he had stopped humping everything. And then
it's called melting.
So I came home from work Thursday night, and he was sitting. My roommates were, sitting there watching TV and stuff, and he was sitting on the couch. He normally will get up to greet whoever comes in the door, like most dogs do, and he didn't. And I said, and I noticed during the service, like a huge text that I'd wrote in my group chat with my roommates. Like, hey, they want to know what happened. Is Charlie okay? Did anyone feed him anything weird? He's like limping. Did someone hurt him? But no, he's fine. So I was worried. I came home and I was like, are you okay? It turned out this dog had chewed off the arm of the cow and felt bad about it because he's at the scene of the crime. And so we finally I said, I was like, hey, chewed up the cow. I said, you think he feels really bad about it? Because he had the look of, you know how puppies get when they know they did wrong. And so he picked up.
Dog was sad about it.
He was sad about it. But we also think he ate some of the stuffing, so it was kind of rubbing him the wrong way. Because he would go he'd sit there and be like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I think he'll be fine. But my roommate picked up the cow missing an arm and just held it up, and Charlie went like that. And I was like, no way, bro. This dog is the purest thing ever. This dog's going to heaven, man. All right, so the last thing I'm going to do, I have two things I'm going to do before ending the stream. I want to show y'all a mini I've been working on painting.
Yes. This mini has been in the works for a while, for a couple months now, almost.
Longer than that. I've had it nearly a year.
Well, only been working on it slowly.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
It was going to be. So the background of this character, I can't give all the details.
What?
Because this will be in a session in the future. I have to piece them together. I haven't glued them because it's not done.
Just give what the creature is and nothing else.
His name is the aspect of the jailer, and you'll see why. I'm gonna hold him up for the camera for whoever's watching. Get a sneak peek.
It has been an amazing work in progress, and it's coming out so well.
I can't see this.
It's a little dark. You'll need a little bit of light.
How's that?
Almost perfect. Yeah, look at that. He is very gross.
Isn't he cute?
He's adorable.
He started out as like a blue color.
Yeah, I like how it's kind of set in. So now it's
I repainted it.
Oh, you repainted it?
Yeah, I didn't like the blue. I kept looking at it and thought, that's not evil enough. So I needed him to be grotesque and just a terrible thing to look at because of how it's going to be described. So I mixed. I was painting something else, and I was looking at my paint tray, and I have a bunch of dried paint. I don't know why I can't hear my voice on my left side now, but it is broken. All right, there we go. No, that bugs me. And just from one of the paint trays I put water in, there's a bunch of mixed colors together, and it was like a skin tone, a green, a black, and a gray. And I really like this. That looks evil. That looks like some orc skin. So I replicated it. So I did green, a concrete gray, and then a little smudge of black. And I blended it, and it came out to this like sickly green that contrasts with the red of the accents lines. So, and then the red is just a straight up red from Army Painter.
Yeah,
from one of the D&D kits.
It looks really good.
So, and then I use this flesh tone for like a cocoa tone for the darker skin, and then I took the red and then I just like tapped for like blood
splatter and stuff.
And I didn't care if any of that got on the cage because it just looks like he's stained. And then the little metal bits on him are a Vallejo sparkly silver, so it makes it look like real metal.
Yeah, it looks really, really good.
If Rub and Buff weren't so shiny, I'd probably use a little bit. So I actually might take that same silver paint and paint all these little spikes. So instead of being bones, they're metal. Ooh, might be cool.
Maybe.
But if I do bones, they're gonna be like a sickly yellow bones.
Yeah.
He's missing a claw, and then he has I don't have it with me, but his other arm has like a whip made out of a spine.
Yes.
So,
I can't wait to see that.
Yep. He's coming together. He is a creepy, sick looking character.
Can't wait to face it.
Yeah, I need to get a stat block for him.
Yeah, it's gonna be real good.
But anyway, on that note,
well, ladies and gentlemen,
good return. This for as little preparation as we had, this was actually a really smooth flowing episode. So
yeah, we appreciate y'all coming out and listening, and of course, thanks for joining the Sasquatch and the Raccoon in the forest this evening. And, hope to see you guys next time.
All right, y'all have a wonderful evening. We're gonna go eat something unhealthy, I'm sure.
Yep, gonna go burp up some grease.
Yep.